Okay. The third question is from Amy Awesome, and I'm uh, blown away by her question, which was, you have such good taste in music, um, that she wanted to know more about songs that are meaningful to me. And it blows me away that you think I have good taste in music, because I do not think of myself as somebody with good taste in music at all. I don't really keep up with shit. Um, I You can tell just from glancing at my iTunes library that, oh, she graduated in 1992. It's screamingly obvious. I think that for most people who aren't like musical people, like, in a band or whatever, um, you never care about music more than your senior year of high school. And so your collection tends to coalesce around that year. So it's pretty much grunge upon grunge upon grunge upon grunge upon grunge. Yes, I've got Nirvana, I've got Pearl Jam, I've got, Alice in Chains and blah, blah, blah. Songs that are meaningful to me. Well, I don't know what you mean by meaningful necessarily, so I'm just going to free associate a little bit. I will say that The Cure, Disintegration, was a very important album for me. I listened to it constantly at the time. I remember listening to it on my headphones at the bus stop waiting for the school bus, just kind of twirling around. But I listened to it all, and I still listen to it sometimes, all throughout life. Um, the Disintegration album by The Cure will actually cure a headache for me, if I play it from top to bottom. And don't do anything else. I can't be reading and listening to it, because that, if I just lay and listen to it, it'll cure a headache. Um, I've never found another album that does that. So, The Cure, Disintegration. In high school, I was absolutely obsessed with Depeche Mode, which is probably not very surprising. But I will point out that I grew up in Fruitport, Michigan, population 1,000 and something. So around there, it was a very big deal to be into Depeche Mode. I mean, there was no such thing as college radio or alternative radio or any of that. So it marked me as unusual and, a part of a certain tribe, and that's kind of what I was looking for, I guess. I think my favorite album would be 101. Violators, alright. I'm not a huge fan of anything after that, really. Let's see, what else? Of course, all the grunge stuff, just because that's my time. Tori Amos, I love her stuff. Sometimes I can't listen to it because it's too raw. I cannot, I love the song These Precious Things. I cannot listen to it. I will cry. Even after all these years, however many, I don't know, dozens of times I've heard it, it'll make me burst into tears, so I can't listen to it. What else? I love Letters to Cleo, and I have no idea why. Something about her voice and the timing and the pacing of how they do their songs. I just love Letters to Cleo for no apparent reason. Mason is definitely more into music than I am. He's always the one downloading indie stuff and making me listen to it. I go through phases. For a while I'll be really into listening to music, but then for a while I'll be really into talking. And the talking phases usually last a lot longer, to tell you the truth. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. That's pretty much all I listen to in the car is podcasts. NPR podcasts, mostly. Because our NPR station here sucks. And at work, I just listen to, like, the, shit, what's it called? Like, the Jack format. Our station is Bob, but whatever. And every city has one of those. So I just listen to that because it's inoffensive, and, you know, it's usually fairly peppy, but it doesn't infiltrate my brain. I can still think. Let's see. Songs that are meaningful to me. The White Ladder album by David Gray is definitely, it's very meaningful to me. It's also very evocative of the time I spent in Boston, because I listened to it a lot on my headphones when I was there. And also the song, If You Want It, Come and Get It, Babylon. The song Babylon got ruined for me by my ex, because when we were first dating, I was like, oh, I love this song reminds me of you. I'm thinking it's going to be like our song, right? And he's like, but before I could get like all of it out, he's like, oh yeah, that song always reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. And that was like date number 3. So that song was forever ruined for me. But I love everything else on that album. Our wedding song was The Air That I Breathe. All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe. Let me see if I can find it on my iTunes, because nobody ever knows it until they hear it, and then they're like, oh, the air, no, alright, air, shit, I don't think I can find it. I don't remember who sings it. Maybe if I sort it by name and then look for air, A. Air. No, okay, maybe the air. Nope. Okay, sorry, all the dead air. I couldn't find it easily. Anyway, All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe and to Love You. That reminds Mason of me, and so that's our song. That's what we danced to at the wedding. Songs that are meaningful. This is an interesting thing that I didn't think would come up, but it suddenly came up in my brain. What was the name of that band? Oh God, I hate this band too. With the guy, shit. Something, My Own Prison. Here in my own prison. Shit. Well, you hopefully you know what the hell I'm talking about. That's a song I cannot hear, because in the aftermath of my stepfather's death, my older youngest brother, who was a kid, who was like 12, was playing that song, blasting that song on repeat for the first few days after he died, and so it just reminds me of, that all that pain and agony. So I'm coming up with our songs that are awful for me. Boy, I guess I don't have a lot of like meaningful good songs. They only become meaningful when they're terrible. I'm not that into music, and I like shit music. I like Lady Gaga, I like Party in the USA. It's fun. I used to be really like shit, man, I can't think all of a sudden. Really like snooty about music. It had to be this way, it had to be that way. Got over that. Once you no longer are trying to use music as a proxy for your identity, you can open it back up again quite a bit. I'll tell you, the first album I ever bought was Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. I saved up my allowance for it. The first concert I ever went to was Olivia Newton-John physical tour in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when I was, I guess, 7 or 8. I loved Olivia Newton-John. Oh, I was all about Olivia Newton-John at that time. And I feel like I had something else to say about that, but shoo, it just left my brain. So I guess that's all you get. Yeah, I can't pull it back. So anyway, thank you for the compliment, Amy. I'm still floored that somebody thinks I have good taste in music. But hey, right on. Like, yay. I love that. Okay, that's all I got. Bye.